support and understanding, particularly in the area of rural development support. And I would want to appeal in whatever form we can do to assist Secretariat as well as our own is free to contact the Director of Rural Development press conference. We've been celebrating Rural Development Week in Babangida, that for the details of our program and acting Director of Rural Development will be meeting for the first time to give this to open this question.
I hope you have been stage to interact with you officially for the first time since I assumed office at the Directorate last October. I hope that today's briefing will mark the beginning of great interaction and understanding between different members of the public and the State Directorate. Two major perspectives will form the core areas of our dialogue here today. Firstly, to highlight the program of activities lined up for the Rural Development Week celebration in Lagos State, commencing tomorrow, Thursday, 31st January to Thursday, February 7, 1991. It will be recalled that President Ibrahim Babangida in 1987 declared the 7th day of February of every year as the Rural Development Day. However, in Lagos State, in the last 3 years, we have organized week-long activities to celebrate the day. We have done this to symbolize the state government commitment to rural transformation and to celebrate our achievements in these areas, as well as examine the factors militating against traffic program implementation. The other core areas focuses on the need to create and sustain the necessary awareness and understanding in the urban areas, on the need for redistribution of resource allocation in favor of the rural subsector. Thus, as we begin to celebrate the 4th anniversary of the Declaration of Rural Development Day, we cast our minds back, and I feel grateful to God and appreciative to the cooperation of the state and local government, as well as some rural communities, for getting us this far. The Ikorodu local government, for instance, has been particularly lucky in terms of resource allocation and project implementation. No fewer than 50 communities have benefited from about 40 rural electrification projects in the local government areas. Similarly, 7 micro water schemes costing 9.49 million naira have either been completed or are at various stages of completion. 2 major link roads, Igogo of Fioreta and Akurai Igokuta Imota Road, with a total value of 37.7 million naira, have also been commissioned in the same council within the last 36 months. On top of that, 116 community development associations have been formed in the local government area to serve as a vital link in the development process. To take a bird's eye view of the program, it could be perceived that the development consciousness of the rural people has been uplifted and are turned to development signals since 1987. We are confident, as this trend continues, that the rural development drive is becoming, by and large, a mass movement in Lagos State. Ultimately, the objective of the Directorate is to get the rural folk to internalize the program so that it could create an internal dynamic of its own and make it politically suicidal for any incoming administration to jettison rural development program. While thanking the Almighty God for His mercies, let me also commend the relentless effort of the past incumbent governors of Lagos State, as well as the Executive Council, past directors of Lagos District, past and present chairmen and secretary of local government and their officials, the traditional rulers, and the numerous community leaders who have done a great deal to mobilize their people for the crusade to improve the quality of rural life. Therefore, as we go into yet another active rural development year, let me renew my appeal to all the rural communities to rise to the call of the state military governor, for mass involvement in the rural development process. This is because the problem of rural development in Lagos is complex and enormous. I'm happy to know that our efforts in the last 26 months have begun to change the erroneous but widely held opinion that the state, as the most urbanized in the Federation and given its small size, is not capable of harboring areas that could be classified as rural. However, the truth is that the term rural Lagos is not a figment of imagination, but a social reality. Indeed, Lagos State, we have come to appreciate, harbors deep and complex rural areas. For instance, consider the fact that no fewer than 1,090 communities out of the 1,044 identified in the state are rural, representing 70%, while 453 representing 30% are classified as semi-urban and urban. Take Ibeju-Lekki local government area for example. With its 140 communities, it was, until 12 months ago, 1,400% rural, devoid of basic amenities, and confronted with the enormous problem of access due to the swampy, sandy, and coastal terrain of the area. Now, the state government has embarked on a coastal road costing 420 million naira to open up the vast potentials of the area. Mention should also be made of the effort of the council to provide basic amenities in the area. In this regard, it has put in place a micro-water scheme at Akodo Secretariat and fully surveyed the Ibeju-Lekki Township Road. Let me emphasize that owing to the neglect of the area in the recent past, our attention in 1991 would shift focus to Ibeju-Lekki and other newly created councils in order to ensure even distribution. Meanwhile, it would be naive to imagine that it's commendable as our track records are in the area of providing basic and social infrastructure, the problem of rural Lagos has been put solidly behind us. Far from it. Indeed, it is probable that some new problems will have been or will be created as a consequence of this developmental process. To my mind, the main lesson from our experience so far is to emphasize that government has decisively taken a lead in the drive to balance the obvious inequalities of our developmental strategies of the last few decades. Let me quickly add that with the momentum we have created so far in Lagos State, the outlook and structure of our rural area will continue to improve. Let me also seize the opportunities of this press briefing to express our gratitude to those individuals and members of the business community who, through cash donations and pledges to sponsor specific projects, made the launching of the program of private sector participation in rural development a success. I can assure you that the money so far collected will be judiciously utilized. I want to urge those who have not redeemed their pledges to do so in earnest, while those who were unavoidably absent on those occasions are called upon to come forward and contribute their widow's mite. In particular, we're grateful to Immersive Chemical Company for donating the first batch of the 50,000 naira worth of drugs pledged at the launching ceremony in Ikeja. The essential drugs required for primary health care delivery have since been distributed to rural clinics at Ikeja, Agege, Ikorodu, and Mushi. Gentlemen and ladies of the press, on behalf of the directorate and the rural people themselves, we express our profound gratitude for the support and cooperation within the last 24 months in creating the necessary awareness and putting rural development activities of the state government on the national agenda. I hope to continue to count on your support in the months ahead. This is because the sum total of our rural development activities has created new information needs that demand careful articulation. It has equally created a more diverse and growing population with kids and teens coming home to settle down as a result of the more congenial rural environment. Conversely, the need to win the sympathy of the urban dwellers on the merit and redistributing resources to rural areas has become more acute. Meanwhile, it is in order to celebrate this 4th anniversary of the landmark of rural development that a week has been set aside this year as Rural Development Day, in quotation. By the program package, it promises to be an exciting and eventful event, with events of interest to all cross-sections of the society. This year, about 40 projects embarked upon by federal, district, Lagos State government, the council, and the rural communities themselves will be commissioned. This compares favorably with the 35 projects commissioned during the last year's Rural Week and 24 commissioned in 1989. Another major thrust of the program centers around the inspection of ongoing rural development projects and the commissioning of recently completed ones in the local government areas. There is also an art and craft exhibition which the military governor will declare open tomorrow while formally launching the Rural Development Week. The week ends with a rally at the Secretariat Visitors Car Park and a presidential Rural Day message to be delivered by the governor, Colonel Rajiv Rasaki. Sent to you later for listening to it.
Okay, I think we'll answer time, but before we do that, I think I will crave the indulgence of the program for light refreshments. So we shall go into question and turn to ask. Please mention your name traditionally, the media you represent, and that is it. Okay,
formed by the Federal Lagos State Government Councils and other committees. It should be common.
Projects like rural education, the road, and Ethiopia. While the water project, micro water costs about 1.8 naira and spend a lot of money. But if you want the sum to
Alake Oforile Agege. I am particularly delighted to welcome the military governor of Lagos State, Colonel Rajiv Rasaki, and his entourage to this August ceremony, marking the celebration of Agege Local Government Rural Development Day today, which will be financed by the commissioning of Tande Water Project at Alakoko and Women Resource Center, Ojaba Baket, Okoba, Agege. It is not an overstatement to say that your focus and commitment towards the upliftment of the rural areas of the state is unquantifiable and unbeatable. 1991 Rural Development Day celebration is a reminiscence of 1990 Rural Development Day celebration, which is an opportunity for continuous improvement in the social structures of the people and the efforts of Agege Local Government Council vis-a-vis communities' efforts to improve the standard of living of our rural dwellers. It will interest you to know that there are 60 communities in Agege Local Government, out of which 17 are rural, while 43 are semi-urban and urban. Agege Local Government is desperate in transforming the lives of the people living in the rural areas into a more productive one by exporting their potentials for the creation of job opportunities. May I point to you that there are 13 viable self-projects and about 70 community development associations in Agege Local Government area with genuine intention of embarking on one project or the other. Agege Local Government will complement the efforts of some of these viable community development associations by extending some assistance to them for the realizations of their dreams. the Better Life programs in Agege local government has been fairly treated by the state government. Last year, the state government, through DFRI, made a cash donation of 30,000 naira as its contribution to two self-help projects, namely, Urili Agege Vocational Training Center, 2, Okoba Daycare Center. Unfortunately, these checks were deposited with the National Bank and became impossible to cash. Sir, I would like to solicit your support so that the checks in question will be reissued to these communities. I'm sure everybody knows what is happening at National Bank as of now. I hope Dr. Kehinde will help us intimate this concept with the governor. One of the projects which is to be commissioned today is the Women Resource Center here at Okoba. The project will cost 183,031 naira 12 kobo. Will continue to have a great impact on the enhancement of rural income generation and the living standard of our rural dwellers. I would like to assure you, sir, that more of these projects will be budgeted for in the current estimate and will be evenly distributed among the rural areas. I wish to say that Agege local government is concerned about decongesting the streets of illegal traders. Also concerned as the state government on this issue. The council has embarked on the construction of modern markets, both lockups and open, and even the rehabilitation of old ones to make them more viable. I also like to inform you, sir, that the present administration and the Agege Local Government Council we allocate a shop each to better life for rural women at both the new and old markets. The market traders located presently at Ojaba will be given priority and be relocated here at Okoba Market to be commissioned today by the military government. I want to assure you once again, sir, and the people of Agege local government area, that this administration will bring more markets, which will be evenly distributed for the promotion of the products of our rural dwellers. Rural dwellers will also benefit from our program of rural electrification, provision of drinkable water, opening up of more rural roads, which will facilitate easy movement of goods from the hinterland to the urban centers. The military governor, sir, I observe with keen interest that some other local governments like Ibejuleki, Ekpe, and Badagry have been provided with micro water schemes which serve more communities in a given area. I therefore wish to appeal to the military governor to extend to the people of Agege the provision of micro water schemes. It's not that we are jealous. If these schemes and projects are provided, the people of Agege will indeed be very grateful to the military government, and in particular, Alakuko, Alagbado, Ojokoro, and Ijaiye areas of Agege. They are the most developed areas of Agege local government area. They are in dire need of these micro water schemes. Agege, Alagbado, Alakuko, and Ojokoro areas are actually on the gateway to Agege local government area council. I am aware that the Adiye water scheme is nearing completion, and I hope that Agege local government area will benefit immensely from the bulk of water to be supplied by this scheme. Apart from the acute water shortage in Agege, a large part of the area is suffering from the menace of water erosion caused by flooding. Your assistance is being sought in controlling the flood system, especially at Oshukeye Ajakaye Street at Ifako area of Agege. I will also seize this opportunity to appeal to you, sir, to please release more funds for the completion of 18 self-help projects located at Agege. May I intimate the military governor that Agege local government is fast becoming an urban area. This fact is exemplified by the construction of private buildings that are springing up all over the area. The influx of people into this local government area as a result of this development has invariably increased the number of traffic jams around the first cinema, Old Abekiri Mansion Road, College Road, Ipako, and Ijayi Road, all in Agege. Despite this influx of people into Agege, some of the areas in Agege local government, especially towns and villages, sharing border with Ogun State government are without adequate electrification. I would like to appeal to the state government to extend electricity to this area. Agege local government on its part complemented the self-help efforts of the people of Akidi village in their electrification project. Part of the village has now been energized. I wish to seize this opportunity to thank the military governor for donating the piece of land at Okwaba for the council for the execution of its project. I seize this opportunity to say a special thank you. The Okwaba land project, which has been actually donated to us, is this piece of land on which we are now. I also like to seize the opportunity to appeal to the state governor for a speedy processing of the certificate of occupancy in respect of the land, which I understand has been submitted to the military governor's office. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this ceremony, and I wish you a happy and successful Rural Development Day celebration. Thank you.
Vice Chairman, Councillors, members of the Rural Government Council, Chairman and members of the License to Care today, to perform the commissioning ceremonies, both Women Resource Center and Okwaba, and Type A Water Project and Alaboko as part of the programs
lined up to mark the 1991 Rural Development. The week affords us all the opportunity of focusing on determined efforts of the present administration in its resolve to improve the quality of life of our rural communities. It should be recalled that it was against the background of this national commitment that the Directorate of Foods, Roads and Rural Infrastructures was established, which to our admiration and joy has made its impact felt throughout the country in general and in Lagos State in particular. It is therefore noteworthy to observe that the relevance of the Directorate of Rural Development is now being embraced, especially with the opening of accessible roads to ease movement of people and goods from the hinterland to the urban centers, and with the execution of water projects, which include the construction of the following boreholes in some parts of the Agege local government area. 1. The Valley Animation Street borehole serves the entire Alapuko people. 2. The Haruna Street borehole, which serves the people of the Ifako and Ijayi communities. 3. The borehole at Okoba area, which serves the people of Okoba and other areas. There is no doubt that with the establishment of various water projects as the one to be commissioned today, the problem emanating from lack of potable water is being steadily alleviated. Let me add at this juncture that while government will continue to endeavor to construct more boreholes for the people of this area, it is instructive that the council and the community leaders will ensure that these boreholes are secured, put into proper use and adequately maintained. The construction of the Women Resource Center is attempt at ensuring that the people of Agege are being accorded due attention to the provision of rural infrastructural facilities, as it is expected that the center will serve as a professional center wherein opportunities for men and women be trained in various trades, make them be self-employed, thus making them economically self-reliant. To construct more women resource centers in some strategic locations within its area of jurisdiction to complement the efforts of the state government. Perhaps I should add at this point that government alone cannot provide all the needs of the citizens. I therefore wish to seize this opportunity to appeal to the members of the various communities to assist government in embarking on self-help projects that will serve the overall interest of the people. I also understand there are still some self-help projects in the local government area which are yet to be completed. Efforts should accordingly be geared to ensure that such projects are completed without any further delay. The State Directorate of Food, Roads and Rural Infrastructures shall also be enjoined to lend a helping hand in contributing its quota towards the completion of the self-help projects, rural roads and drinking water throughout the state. Some jetties have also been built in the riverine areas to facilitate easy movement of people and goods between the riverine areas and the urban centers.